welcome back to the Final Two podcast. Today, we have another very special guest, none other than FDU royalty, Danny Rodriguez. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excited to be here, guys. Excited
welcome to the Final
here.
Two. Thank you for accepting an invite to the Final Two. How are you, my brother?
I am very good, and how are you guys?
Chilling, man.
Doing great.
Doing good. We're doing good. I helped you out.
Great.
Well, we both helped out today.
Right. Me and
For the
Sal
community
getting
of
busy
Newark.
today. Yeah.
It was really
Sal
good.
getting busy today.
Mm-hmm.
How was your summer? How was this COVID-infested summer for you?
It definitely was deterred. Definitely a lot of things I wanted to do that couldn't get done. But, aside from that, I was definitely able to sit down and really do a lot of thinking, more of just like, basketball aspect. I really figured out where I want to go with my career and everything, and how I can take my game to the next level. So I've really been focusing on that really, and just working out. The courts have been up for about a month now, so I've been like shooting for a month now. But for like ever since I got home from quarantine, it was just straight workouts because don't stop,
Exactly. We were talking about before, I asked you, I was like, what are you doing? Like, are you working? You were like, nah, man, just working out, just sticking with basketball, focusing on my craft and all that. So again,
for real, bro. Like,
it's a tough time, but you're really working on it. I appreciate that.
thank you, for real. Like, all I do is just come home, relax, watch TV, and then when I get bored of watching TV, I get up and go work out. Because that's really the only thing to do around here. Like you said, Corona around, so everybody trying to stay safe. Not really any pickup games. So it's really just, go to the park. It's really the only time the park is really empty, for real. So I get a lot done. I usually go out for like 2 hours at a time and then come back. So
yeah, and Oliver, he actually was telling me, and I dropped him off today. It was crazy. Like he and his brother, 16-year-old brother, right?
Yeah.
You guys built your own hoop. Like literally you measured it yourself. You had the plywood, 10 feet. Like it's crazy how much dedication you got, especially for the game.
Did you use the HP computer to do that, or was that just?
No. Me and my brother, before college, our summer jobs was going to work with our uncle, and we used to do construction with him. He does construction, has his own construction company and everything. So we would work with him during the summer, and my brother gravitated to it more. I told my uncle, me, I'm more of a, give me a computer, sit down. I will do numbers for you. I will make sure your checks and your balances and is all checked and balanced, So
Like an accountant.
Exactly. So I'm more of a numbers. My brother is more hands-on. So he was the one that I wanted to do something for me and him to also bond. Also other than playing a video game, because we do that all the time. So I wanted to do something for us to bond and for us to, something that we would cherish and pass on and keep in our with our kids and everything.
Absolutely.
So what's your major in college?
Yeah.
Sorry,
major.
Sal.
No, you're good.
My major is psychology, so it's kind of a twist. My major is psychology. I want to be a therapist if basketball doesn't work out.
That's good that you have a backup plan, especially because there's a
of
lot of
course.
athletes that are just solely on basketball. And say if that doesn't work out, they're kind of lost. They're like, what do I do now? Do I just be a coach? Get a minimum wage? But rather you have a backup plan for another career. Now, I like what you were talking about, investing your time besides, playing games like any other kid would, watch TV. Rather, you focus on playing basketball. You try to do things outside of your surroundings, building your own hoop. But also, like I said this morning, we went out and you and I gave back to the community of Newark, helping out, with the community, the food bank, packaging, delivering food. So tell me about that. I mean, how do you feel being, born and raised in Jersey, repping Jersey, and giving back to Jersey?
Well, Sal, as I said to you today, it was a little more sentimental value to me too, because it was actually in the gym that I started playing basketball and everything. I got my start, and I got my coach who passed away, rest in peace, Jay. But he basically put me in the hands of another AAU coach, and it was a better, bigger program, because he knew that my talents were bigger and better, not better, but they were bigger than Newark and what he could offer. So he entrusted me and a friend of his, and from there I just went on and shined and went completely up from there. So that gym, and especially giving back there, meant a lot to me today because it's home. They always say the best athletes are those that can make it and come back and give back. So
Danny, that's deep, Danny.
right. You feel me?
Oh my God.
So it means a lot to me that I was able to do that Coach G does this, because without him telling me, I would have never known. I never knew that they were doing
Likewise.
this and that it's volunteer work. So, and Sal came through, and it was very, very encouraging to see Sal there because, Sal is all the way from near school. So
Hazard Kites, yeah.
it felt like more of a moral and a community responsibility for me to be there. But Sal just completely volunteered there, and we was kicking it there. They had
That's
us
what's
holding
up,
papers,
Danny.
but we was kicking it.
That's what's up, man. I think quarantine that HP computer changed you a lot, man.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
look
you,
at
bro.
you.
I'm telling you, I just did so much thinking. I just did so much further, bro. I'm not. My mom's an educator. My mom's a teacher. My aunt is a teacher. She's a dean of students now. My grandmother is a retired social worker. She worked in the school system for over 40 years. She was a retired high school social worker. So I have been around educators my whole life. My uncle is ex-Marine. So I've been around educators and influencers my whole life, and without them, my dad is a Navy. He's a ex-Navy, and he there's a lot of qualities I see now that like I'm getting that are his. So I see a lot in me and him that are the same. But I just had a very good close knit circle that has taught me that it's not always about just playing video games and working out and going out and just doing whatever. Do some things that are going to stimulate your mind and going to better you as a person. So I just really got to thinking.
Love that, man.
Man,
A lot of good people around you. A lot of influencers.
Thank you,
I like
thank
that.
you, thank you,
that's
thank you.
huge because like when you have that stable core group, you're gonna succeed, my brother. Like
Right, right,
that mindset is different. Like that they're not gonna baby you as much as you're their baby. Like they're gonna tell
right,
you what's up, and you
right,
respect that, and
right.
that's huge,
Exactly,
man. So
exactly, bro.
how did you guys take this whole Black Lives Movement going on and all that added to this COVID infested world with this just world getting flipped upside down?
Well,
What did you guys believe in that, man?
it definitely, it definitely struck a chord. Um, there was a time when I was just thinking about a lot, and I saw it took me a few days to see the video of George Floyd's death. And when I saw it, I just broke out in tears because it's just like, you ask the question, when is enough? But like, you really want to know like when is enough. So, and I just try every day. I start by, talking to my little brother every day talking to my little brother, just seeing like, where his head's at on certain topics, on certain things. I'll reiterate like, if you're in a car, like what happens if the cops pull you over, you put your hands up, like you don't get disrespectful, don't be smart, you answer the question, yes sir, no sir, you get them what you want. If you're innocent, then you good. You ain't got nothing to hide. And then I stressed to him and a couple of his friends, a couple of the young guys that some of my old coaches connect me with. I tell them, it doesn't pay to be smart in this world. If it doesn't pay to be smart, so you just gotta be safe and be wise at the moment of what you do and what you say to the people, to officers, especially to police officers. And I don't always now saying that, you might be thinking I look into the negative of almost anything, or I make everything about Black Lives Matter, but no, I don't. I actually look for the little things. Like me and my mom will have constant discussions that will turn into arguments that about like, you know, Black Lives Matter and things that might seem, you know, like racially inequality, like unequal. And I talked to her and I'm like, Ma, as we're riding down the block, I'm like, what do you see? And she's like, I see a bunch of houses and like one Black Lives Matter sign. I was like, Ma, but that's not all. Like that's what you see. And I'm like, I see, you feel me, that one black house, that one house that has Black Lives Matter sign. I know that if something was to go down around here, that's one place I can go and say, you know, I need help, that something's happening. May you please call the cops, may I please stay here until my mom or the cops get here. You know, I know that's one place I can go that's safe. I saw 2 kids, one black and one white, riding their bikes down the street. And I'm like, you know, I see a change right here, a little bit of change right here, you know. My mom grew up in a time, in an era, and she grew up in Bayonne, New Jersey, when it was probably the most racist that it could ever have been. So she grew up in a different time period to where her mind is differently. And I'm trying to, I feel like I'm always trying to tell her, like, you know, things are changing. You got to admit that things are changing. You got to hold on to those little changes, because when the big things happen, like George Floyd, or, you know, the riots, you know, or not the riots, the protests where they are peaceful, but cops are making them unpeaceful. You know, those are the big ones that strike hard, but we have to hold on to the little ones so that the big ones don't hurt as much when they do.
No, I just, not even to get too political or get too deep into that conversation, because that's a very debatable conversation. It can cause a lot of, you know, ups and downs. But I do agree that one of the biggest things is just educating, you know, like being educated so you can make whatever assumptions you want once you're educated. I feel like it's not about necessarily, oh, a Black Lives Matter more than a white guy and a cop. Like, no, let's find a boundary where we're both together. Let's amend each other. It's not your life is more important than mine. It's all our lives matter. Let's just figure out a way where, and then you get people who are like, yeah, well, Black people have gotten the disrespect. You're 100% right, and I get that. But let's educate. Let's do our job to educate maybe the people who don't understand that, because not all of us are like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm Hispanic. Like, if you see me on the street and I get pulled over, I'm a light skin. Like, a cop isn't. I'm a light skin. I'm basically black at one point. So it's just I see 100%, and it's just my opinion on the whole thing is we need to educate the people. And once you educate people, they tend to understand a lot better. Like, okay, yeah, that is true. Like, so I do agree with what you're saying though.
And we spoke about this in our previous episode with Lauren Francione, and she was addressing it in a similar way. You know, people need to understand that this isn't just a movement. We're talking about lives. These Black lives don't matter not just today for whatever Blackout Tuesday. It matters today, tomorrow, every day, forever. And people need to get that. They need to instill that. And again, systemic racism needs to be gone. And it starts in the foundation of our roots. And it's a fact. And most of these lives that are being lost are African Americans, and they're being targeted.
Right. And there's no politics in race. So, you know, once it does come along with education, but it also just comes from love. Like you don't gotta you feel me? I've never said I love Sal. I've never said I love you, Oliver. You feel me? But y'all, you feel that when I'm around you, like you're my guy. Like I mess with you, like we're friends. Like, you know, if you needed something, and if I had it, you know, I'd be there for you, and I'd give it to you without a doubt. You know, so it all just comes down to just being able to love thy neighbor. You feel me? And that's one of the simplest commandments in the Bible that don't have to be taken to the core. You don't actually have to love everyone. You just have to have love for everyone.
I agree with that, and the great we're having this conversation. You know why? Because we're the next generation.
Right.
We are the next generation. We are right now blossoming 20-year-olds about to take over the world. So we are what really matters right now. At the end of the day, our parents, older than them, whatever, they're already instilled in their mind. They can't really change. Some people, you can't change their mindset. But our group coming up now, it's our job when we have kids to be like, yo, this is what's going on. You need to understand that's not right. And that changes the whole dynamic up. You know what I mean? So I completely, it's just great we're having this conversation now, because I feel like that's exactly what's important about this whole podcast. It's about positivity, about growth, about learning from each other.
And look at the podcast right now. You know, you got me, African American, Oliver, Hispanic, Sal, Italian. Like
Albanian,
we have so we
Albanian Greek.
Albanian, Albanian.
I'll
I,
accept the compliment though.
I swung for the fence. See, but you see, like
Yeah.
I don't like to say white. Like I don't say I have white friends. Like I say I have
Mm.
Caucasian friends, or I'd rather like I have a German friend, I have an Italian friend, I have a Greek friend, and then they'll
Yeah.
come down to them like, so they're white.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
It's about love. It's just about love. I agree with that. But what are you
Come on,
saying,
man.
Sal?
Danny, talk about, your inspiration for the game of basketball. Who inspired you to really pick up a basketball, play the game, whether it was someone that you took from the NBA, taking it from his craft in a game, and how did you apply it into your own craft as a player?
I'm not gonna lie. Basketball for me wasn't something that my mom just kept on seeing me pick up a basketball and she automatically knew basketball, basketball, basketball. It wasn't that for me. For me, it was my mom saw I was a big boy and she said I'm gonna do something because I can't be running around the house just bored, and she brought me to basketball. But if it wasn't for her instilling in the don't quit, because there were plenty of times when I was younger that I wanted to quit, but if she didn't instill in me that when I was younger, then I don't think I would have ever wanted to continue playing basketball. But the moment for me that I really wanted to be better and really wanted to really shine and really show that I was the best or one of the best at what I do was fifth grade nationals. We went, and first game, I think I had like 10 and 15, and it might not sound as much, but I didn't start. I wasn't the best player. I walked almost every time I caught the ball, could barely catch the ball. So when I caught it, it was a plus. But then when I walked, it was like, eh. So, but in fifth grade, it was just something that clicked. I wanted to be better. And I saw, we was around top talent and we was around some of the top guys in the country. And I just said, I don't see no difference for me and him. The only difference is probably he works harder. So I just had to work hard.
Mm.
And from then on, I just vowed myself that I was just going to work hard for everything I wanted.
Now, was there a certain NBA player though that, like, if you were watching the game that you were like, damn, I want to be like him, but there was like
Well, okay.
watching LeBron
So
or
right.
whatever.
So growing up, I was always the tallest kid. So I
Mm-hmm.
was projected to be 7'2". That's what the doctors said.
Wow.
Then in high school, I think my knees should stop working because I probably grew about I probably grew about 2 or 3 more inches in high school. And I am what I think I might have grew this summer. I don't know. We gotta see when we get back, but I think I might have grew. But um, growing up, my favorite player was always Hakeem, Olajuwon, and Shaq
The dream.
because I was always big and strong, but I was also always mobile. So I was also like I could do things faster than other bigs like could do. So when I developed my jump shot, that just took my game to the next level because now I'm big with a jump shot, and being one of the biggest kids growing up, being big with a jump shot was something that was big. So, I wanted to be like Hakeem a lot just because of his grace and the way he moved, and
His
you
footwork.
know
Yep.
exactly his footwork and his finesse with the ball being so big. I studied him crazy. Like I even watched his workout videos. I can tell you everybody he done worked out. LeBron, Melo, Stoudemire, JaVale McGee,
Dwight.
Dwight,
Yeah. A lot of people.
a lot. He has worked out a lot of people. He's even worked on Rajon Rondo, if you believe it. So
Wow.
he spread a lot of wisdom. And then Shaq, because I was always also big. So
Diesel.
Shaq. Yeah, Shaq was, and
Shaq
I
Diesel,
actually met
baby.
Shaq. I met Shaq when I was younger. At the Boys and Girls Club, because it's actually funny.
Really?
Yeah, the Boys and Girls Club I grew up in Newark.
Uh-huh.
is the one that he actually went to. So he would come there, pop up sometimes, and I would see him, and we
That's so humble. That's so
yeah.
humble, Shaq. Though,
Yeah,
like
like
coming
for
Love
real.
back,
Shaq.
like that's
He was like
so dope, man.
Shaq is one of those who I looked up to tremendously as a man, because Shaq was just, as a man, he carries himself respectfully, and you never really hear anything bad about Shaq. Like, I don't think I've heard anything bad about Shaq, you know? So
No.
like,
Hmm.
and also my player now that I look up to now, because it's just more of my game. I see a lot in my game, and is LeBron, because also because of his values as a man. You know, you don't ever hear anything bad about LeBron. LeBron
On and off
plays
the court, the man is
basketball.
a role model. Hmm.
Exactly. The man plays basketball, goes home, handles his business. Mind you, he's playing basketball professionally, has his own business. Like
Hmm.
he's the CEO of his own business and everything,
Has a show on HBO.
and
Opened the
and and
school. Come on.
and is a great father at that. He's not just a father. He's not just a dad neither. He's a great father at that. He's there at
Supports
his
his
kids'
family.
games,
Hmm.
supports his kids. You know, everything. You know, so
And
I
what I love
definitely
about him too is that he has such a strong voice, especially in
right
the public.
right
Not afraid.
right
Yes,
He's
exactly
not afraid to
I don't
say
exactly
know.
it. He's not.
I don't know.
exactly.
I don't know if you saw Last Dance.
Oh yeah,
And like,
of course,
and Mike it was a political thing, and Mike's like, yeah, I'm not commenting on that because I'm a basketball player. I don't really comment
right
on that.
right. And
You have
Mike,
go.
go no no go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and like you see, like Mike saying that, but then you see LeBron over here speaking up, wearing a shirt, like speaking up and saying this is not right. He's doing an
Right.
interview after a game, and he's saying we need the cops arrested for Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor.
He had the
He'll
hat on
ask
his
him
Yeah,
foot.
another
He
quick,
doesn't care.
another question. He does the same thing. We need the cops arrested from Breonna Taylor. I will not stop till Breonna Taylor's cops are
right,
arrested. And you're like, that's
Exactly. And I
right,
hate where people are like, and I read the comments yesterday. It was nasty. You know, people are just like, focus on basketball, shut up and dribble. You know what I mean? We hear that phrase a lot because of Laura Ingram from Fox News. And that's where, you know, more than an athlete, you know, started to propel and becoming a statement amongst all athletes. You know,
right,
athletes have a voice. You know, they're not just
right.
there for the sports. They're not just there for the entertainment. They're going to propel in something else off the court as well.
Right. Mike, but to not really defend, but to, you know, give a little spotlight on Mike. Mike is also one of my favorite players too. Just off of his killer mindset, you know, just off his
oh my
killer
god,
attitude. But
anything.
Mike, it's dangerous. Like when Mike gets in the zone, it's something else. So like, but Mike, LeBron also didn't have, as much as you might believe, LeBron also didn't have the clout that Jordan had. Jordan was the world at some point.
Hmm.
Jordan's name was said in every language, sold, his sneakers were sold in every country around the world. Jordan was once the face of not only basketball, the sport,
The universe.
but exactly basketball, like in the NBA, and
Absolutely.
he was that way for a while, for 6 years. Took a break and came back that same way. So like,
Hmm.
you know, Mike was challenging something different. So if Mike didn't want to deal with politics at that time because he didn't feel like it was his world, I kind of understand. I wouldn't hold it up against him. Would I wanted him to say more? Yes, of course. You're Michael Jordan. Like in today's era, he probably would have said more just because of the way that everyone stands up. You know,
Hmm.
back then there wasn't many other athletes that were also standing up for their, you know, for what they believed in, not standing up, but they just didn't feel comfortable enough to do it, you know. So
See,
um
this is kind of where I disagree with you a little bit. Yes, he was the face of the planet, the face of
right.
entertainment and show business,
Mhm.
just in basketball, right? He was equivalent to
Mhm.
Michael
Mhm.
Jackson, I would say. That much
Right,
clout.
right.
But
Exactly.
at the same time, I would say LeBron is universally popular as well. I mean, he's always in China, Asia. I mean, I'm sorry, China is in Asia, Europe. I mean, he's been around the world as well. He's very well known, and his
He
shoe
is.
sells. But the difference is the social media aspect. There was
Right.
really no impact of social media. I'm sorry, but if Jordan had the amount of hate, criticism, all these analysts, Skip Bayless, Stephen A, just talking out of their mouths every single day about him. You know, Jordan would. I think it would affect him. I honestly think so. I think LeBron gets a lot, and that's why he goes 0 dark 30 every time he's in the playoffs.
No, but Jordan
I
Jordan did get that. Jordan got that and worse.
Not equivalent.
Jordan got that in a more physical aspect. They would probably send in Jordan letters. If they found out where Jordan lived, they would probably send Jordan an angry letter.
I mean, if you were sending letters, you could just throw them out and shred them. So.
Bro, Jordan.
but you always trust me. You always pick up, like they say, don't read the comments, but you always read at least one comment. Any athlete that has a social media platform will tell you that they say don't read the comments, but you at least read one of those comments to see what people feel or what people think about you. So
listen, I agree with that. It's just that if it's a letter, it's simple. I know it's going to be a hater, especially in Jordan's case. He's getting millions of letters, like you're saying.
Right, but
throw it out.
But it also could be a fan. You know, Jordan was hated but loved by everyone. Everyone loved to watch Jordan play, but hated when they played his team. You know, if you go
because he was just that competitive, though.
Exactly. Jordan beat you because he was better than you, and that was just outright. He just worked harder than you, and that's just all he did with his competitors.
You would look at Jordan and be like, "Yo, like your breath smells today," and he dropped 40 on you just for that disrespect.
He didn't like Jordan. Like his work ethic was just different.
Bro, that pizza that supposedly was poison. Like I heard that pizza wasn't poison, but in his head he got sick from that pizza. And like in his head, he's like, "Oh, they were coming after me." Like that's just the mindset he has. He just has like, everyone's against me. Like, what did you say to me? Oh, like you suck. All right, bet.
It's still one.
Jordan, right. And Jordan's like his dad said that if you told Jordan he couldn't do something, he would do it, just to prove you wrong. Like, and then that competitive mindset and that competitive attitude, along with just his talent and his ability that was given to him, that just propelled him to be. And I feel like he was just the first to do it, Sal. That's why I feel like for LeBron, it's a little different because LeBron is always gonna have somebody else mentioned in his name. Kobe.
Sure. Same with Kobe, yeah. And
exactly.
Kobe, especially Kobe, definitely went through it as well. The whole championship reign. I mean, dude, that 2001 playoff series where it was a must-win against Portland. If he hadn't won that game, he would have been destroyed on social media, or not social media, but like on the news, networks. They would have destroyed him and Shaq. Right. So that's why how much of a must-win it was.
But if you see that, like what LeBron said, it's an evolution. Without Jordan, there's no Kobe, there's no LeBron. Like it's just an evolution. Like you learn from this. Like that's like your dad, then your son, then him having a son. It's like your son is not gonna be better than your dad because he's the one who made you. Oh my God, that analogy! Oh, quote me on that.
Absolutely. But going back to what our the beginning of our topic with this topic, like you said, Oliver, like. There's no Kobe without Jordan. There's frankly, no LeBron without Kobe, based on, competitiveness and expertise. So being that LeBron's more vocal than Jordan shows you how much he's learned from kind of the mistakes that Jordan made and his personal decisions. Rather, he's more open and will be a voice of the people and the youth.
Well, to add a little bit to that, before we segue to whatever next question is, if you see Jordan did his thing, really didn't get into politics, like did his business on the side, like he just made a shit ton of money with his shoe brand. But then when you have Kobe, he got a little bit more into the business side of it. He started becoming more of a mogul. He started investing. Now you have LeBron who speaks up, does the business, does the shoes, does all that, and it just keeps on adding.
That ties into what you said, Oliver. Which now you see thinking. Now I got me thinking. Kobe and LeBron learned from Mike how to do it better and how to be a better best. Like Kobe, like you said, he had now before he died, he started to become more of a businessman, more of a now you see Kobe everywhere, winning Oscars, doing this, doing that, starting his own ESPN series, like he was really doing his own thing,
Let me give you a better analogy, even better than that, Curry. before Curry went off on his 3-point game, it changed the whole NBA up because now you have guys playing in the park instead of driving. Now everybody's pulling for three. I'm an airball central type of guy, and I pull up for threes all the time, hoping at least one goes in. You have Dame Lillard going crazy now via threes, but you can't forget that Curry changed the game for basketball.
Exactly.
So it's just
I saw a
You know
post
what I mean?
today. I saw a post today by Bleacher Report, and Kenny Smith last night inside the NBA. He was talking about, man, I think Lillard's taking Curry's game. He might be better shooter than Curry. I was like,
I think
what?
so.
No, I'm not gonna
What?
lie.
Hold on, Oliver. What?
but
Hold
then
on, hold
again-
on. Before you speak, Danny, people are easy to forget that Curry is the one, like you just said, established that beyond
Yes,
perimeter.
but he's not clutch. He's not clutch.
Right,
Dame
but
That is,
Dame,
I agree
Dame
with
is
that.
doing it-
I agree
Dame
with
is
that.
doing it clutch. Dame's doing it clutch.
He is doing it clutch.
Dame is doing it.
Melo as well.
Listen,
You can't
But
take away
The
from
deep
Curry.
three, that's
Yeah,
Curry.
no, you
Curry.
can't take away from Curry. He started that.
you can't.
Dame
He started
is now taking it to another level just
Yes.
by him being Dame. But there's a bunch of players we can say today that contribute to just the way basketball is changing. Harden, now when everybody does a step back, they say you're doing a Harden.
I agree with Chuck. I think he's the best one-on-one basketball player.
Melo,
I agree with that.
post fade, post player's fade. Now you'll say
On a guard.
he's looking like Melo. You feel me? Like post fade like Melo. So
Well-
the game is definitely, and their players now they definitely Kyrie Irving. His finesse. There's a lot of players today changing the game and making it.
That's
now,
a good thing.
Yeah, of course. The game always needs to change, and it's changing, and it's changing and being more exciting. Like it just makes you wonder, like when we're 40 or 50 years old and we can't play none of the sports that we play, what is our game really gonna look like?
It's gonna look like we're in the '60s playing
it's-
again.
No, but if it's evolving this way and it's exciting the way it's evolving, we got guys doing windmills and 360s from the free throw line. It's not too many more generations.
And they're young.
And they're young. And there's not too many more generations that we'll have to where girls will start dunking, to where girls will start dunking regularly because they're talking about lowering the rim. Because Shaq brought up a great point one day on TNT. He said in volleyball the net is lowered like an inch and a half.
Really?
In college, the net for girls volleyball is lowered like an inch and a half below for men's. So for girls, if you lower the rim an inch and a half, that's a lot. In basketball, that's a lot, especially the way we jump. Especially if you lower our rim an inch and a half, almost everybody will be dunking. And 7-footers will just be able to stand there and just throw their hands in. So it will change a lot.
That's a good point.
Well, it's just the aspect of life. It's just remember the evolution of man. We started as apes. Now we're like this. An example, Curry. Curry will step up regular season game, drop 50, playoffs, drop maybe whatever, drop it. But when it comes down to it, Dame is doing it a little bit better because he's doing it with pressure. So
I will say he adapted what Curry brought to the game. He adapted that into his own game. Besides being a driver,
and he brought Dame time.
And what you said, Oliver, with he's doing it under pressure. No one expects Portland to beat the Lakers except me because I'm watching the game and I'm seeing the way Lakers play and I'm like, you guys coming out lackadaisical. Dame is not on no lackadaisical time. If you're not on Dame time, you're not on the right time. So Dame is doing it under pressure because no one expects Portland to beat Los Angeles.
But that is a very good point.
It's basically Dame beating LeBron and AD. That's basically what I see. Dame beating LeBron and AD, and that's OD to me.
For sure. But I was just going to say, you're right. I mean, the 8th seed can take down, especially in this type of environment where there's no home court advantage. It's almost a leveling playing field. There will be some shockers. And, of course, last night was a shocker. The thing that I was annoyed about is that LeBron didn't play like garbage. He had a triple-double. Anthony Davis put up 20-plus. The thing that irritated me was they couldn't hit a shot. We just spoke with Bill Herenda, and he's a contributor, and he was basically breaking it down. They had I think in a total of 5 threes as a team. You know how terrible that is because Damian Lillard averages more than that by himself. So
Exactly.
you have to be like, for players like Danny Green, KCP, Kuzma, I really expect more threes from Kuzma. They need to play JR, Waiters. Like, it starts with the team besides LeBron and AD. Yes, those are two solid players, but you need to have a team behind them. That's
Shout out
how
to
the Warriors are propelling.
I
me
just
and
feel like
Andy.
no. Go
Sorry,
ahead. Go
go.
ahead. Go ahead, Oliver. Go ahead.
No, me and Andy, he was on the show. We had a conversation about this yesterday. I called him, and he's like, it's just crazy to me that he goes, I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but I'll be honest, it's like when you play with LeBron, it's like you get too easy. You like depend on him too much. It's like
Exactly.
you just depend.
Exactly.
It's just a mindset thing. Like you got him, so you don't really got to go OD because he's already going to take over the game. And it's like every team he's been on, it's been almost the same exact thing. So
Right.
that's actually kind of interesting to know that
He's
because
been
it's
playing, he's been playing more like
Well-
Scottie Pippen nowadays, being more of a playmaker. I need him to be more of a killer instinct kind of.
the problem is
player.
he's
Well-
older too. You got to understand that.
His
He can't
age,
just-
you're right.
Right.
You're right.
Right. Well, I feel like you're right, Sal. The guys got to step up, and that's just like one thing I'm really stressing with my team, or something I really want to stress in my team this year is be your best self. Be your best self. If at the end of the day, if you're the best player that you can be, then there's no way we can lose. Because if every player on the team is the best player they can be, how can you lose? And then you're all getting better together. And that doesn't come from chemistry off the court or practice time. That comes from you working out, going and working out working on your game and doing. So I think last night was just LeBron being LeBron and his teammates just it just wasn't their night. They just wasn't on, and I can totally understand that because there's certain nights, me and my team have struggled from making shots. It's not a thing
Exactly.
where
It's just game one. Exactly.
It is game one. So all I know is if the Lakers don't come out next game ready to play,
It's a problem.
and if they come out the way they came out, because I will admit their start was terrible. I knew they were going to lose that game from the start.
They came out flat-footed. Yep.
Exactly. My brother is a Lakers fan, and I told him, you guys are losing because the way you guys are playing right now against Dame Lillard, who's hot right now, who's scored 51 and then 61. So not only did he prove to you that he scored 50, but he scored 10 more points, 10 more points to add to his his accolades. Like you can't come out lackadaisical against Dame. Not even Portland Dame, because they also have other players along with Portland, Carmelo, CJ McCollum, Nurkic,
Gary Trent Jr.
Whiteside.
A lot of players just stepping up. I wish it was the same for the Lakers, and that's what they're missing. Somebody needs to step up.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You can't forget the underdog, baby. It's the best to be the underdog. I love it. I love being counted out. Yep. It's just that athlete in you. If you're a real athlete, and this goes out to all my athletes out here, when you're counted out, that's the best feeling in the world if you're a real guy. Because that's when you really enjoy it. That's when you really shove it in people's faces. When I came into the FDU, I came in my freshman year. I won the MVP my senior year coming into college. I was all confident. I was ready to go. I didn't get the respect I deserved at all. I was like, whatever. And I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I had a terrible fall. Come in. I'm benched 10 games. Don't play a single game. Everybody gets hurt. And coach goes, before that, I was benched the first 5 days. I went and hit. Every day I went by myself, 40 minutes away. And I hit by myself. And I said, when I get my shot, God and my feet are going to control that. I'm not even going to be nervous. Oh, God. Everybody gets hurt. And coach goes, who are we going to play now? Who are we going to play now? I looked at him. And I was like, damn, that's some disrespect. Bro, I hit 380 for the next 10 to 15 games. Everybody thought I was on steroids. Everybody thought I was on steroids, bro. It's just the best feeling in the world. Oh, my God. Man.
I really can tell. And definitely, he got a lot of disrespect, Lillard, especially during these games, the seeded games. That disrespect, that slander he got from Paul George and Patrick Beverly. He didn't deserve that. He sent both of those losers home, from Houston.
Bro, Curry's wife had to come defend him.
Oh my God. He got
I
so
can't
much
with
Come
you.
on,
slander.
bro.
I
But
can't with
Come
you.
seeing him yesterday,
Yo.
like
I
as
feel like
much as
Curry's not
I
gonna watch this. I feel like Curry's not gonna like watch this.
no, as much as I resent, the fact that the Lakers lost yesterday, like I was telling all my friends, my boss, coworkers, like this is a statement game. Like I need him to freaking go off. He goes off, the team still loses, and I was pissed off.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I see Lillard dancing to the East Oakland anthem, and he's just going crazy.
It's
But
just fun, man. It's
it's
fun. All
fun.
that
You're
work.
Fun,
proving
of
you're
You
course.
know,
proving
you know
them
what I
wrong.
took from that? You know what I took from that? I'm sorry for cutting all you guys off. So I like
Mhm.
talking.
You good?
Dame literally said, "Finally, my work is paying off." All
Yeah.
those times in the gym, all those
Mhm.
times working out when no one saw him making those ridiculous threes. Now they're paying off, and he's like, "It's just my work paying off." Like there's not even
Right.
a pressure. He prepared for this.
Mm.
So
Right.
that's
And
just how
that feeling right there alone, and that's another thing I've learned. I've also been counted out all my life. The only shot I got was when, I was given my shot to go play for a better AAU team when I was younger out of Newark. That was because anything else after that I earned. I
Mhm.
earned all the other AAU programs I played, top AAU programs I played for. I earned my high school career. I earned my scholarship. I earned everything that I have gotten today, and I've just wished I looked at it differently growing up, as to a point of how can I raise my value. I've been listening to motivational videos more often to just
Denzel. Look up Denzel, bro.
yeah, no, Denzel is crazy. I just go on YouTube and I just look up motivational F for whatever I need, maybe patience or
Mm.
motivation just to go work out. I'll wake up and just the first thing turn my TV on and listen to a motivational
Mm.
video as I'm getting dressed to go work out.
Yeah, and
And
I love how our assistant coach Bruce Hamburger for FDU, he'll always send us some motivational
exactly, yeah,
quotes,
like
videos.
especially like
Yeah.
I'll be working out, I'll look at it, I'll see it, I'll read it and everything, and I'll be like, wow, that's crazy. And that'll just make me want to work even harder and make me want to even go even harder. So, I
Mhm.
just wish that I would have increased my value. Because I listened to something that said if you want to if you want to impress somebody, you want to give them or prove your worth, don't
Mhm.
don't kiss their behind. Don't give them a reason to like you more. Give them a reason to value you more. Exchange it,
What are
up
you
your
bringing to
value.
the table?
Exactly.
Exactly.
What
What
are
do
you
you
bringing to
like?
the
Like
table?
if you're a basketball player and you're bringing a jump shot and speed, what's that? You don't have no handles. You're fast, but you shoot. You're not going to the basket. You feel me? So your best bet is being able to go from one 3-point line to the other 3-point line in 3.5 seconds. That's your best attribute. But now if you can shoot, pass, and you're fast, now you're a little bit better. If you can shoot, pass, dribble,
It's all
and you're
about
fast,
applying
now
those
now
attributes.
you're a
Yep.
shooting guard. Now you're a shooting guard. If you can shoot, pass, um, and do all the right necessary things that I just said to just
Rebound, exactly,
my
all around.
rebound,
Yeah.
Yeah.
attack. If you're all around player, now you've just increased your value. So now more is wanted out of you. Now more is
Yeah.
given to you, and also
Absolutely.
more is wanted out of you.
And that's what coaches
Absolutely.
look at. They look at, are you
Exactly,
coachable? Are you a
exactly.
team player? Are you playmaking? Are you
Of
doing more than
course,
just scoring? Are you all
of
around,
course.
like you said, on defense
Exactly.
as
Are
well?
you are you a leader? Are you a leader?
It's a
Because a
big
leader
focus as
doesn't
well.
just exactly a leader doesn't just tell people what to do. If you're a leader, then a leader isn't just telling people what to do. A
Yeah.
leader is coming every day working so that they see what to do as long as you're telling them what to do. Because
And
if
of
they
course,
see
And
you
being, yeah.
jogging, if they
Mhm.
see you jogging while you calling shots, who gonna respect somebody that
the
jogging
minute
while you calling shots?
You got to
the
set the example
minute
for the players. Yep.
the minute
Exactly.
you start getting hated, the minute you start hearing people have a conversation about you, you're a leader.
Oh
Does that
yeah,
mean
of
you found
course.
yourself?
And you're not going to be liked by everybody if you're a leader.
Not.
You're gonna have your guys that you can be hard on and connect with them, but then you're gonna have your guys you just gotta be hard on. You just it's got if you have conversation outside, it's gotta be like what's up, how you doing? That's it, keep it going. And
Mhm.
I've had plenty of teammates like that. I've had plenty of teammates where me and my team will probably only say, hey, how you doing? And that's it, keep it pushing. and we'll
So
be in school and just like, But at the end of
Mm.
the day, I got his back, he got my back, and we gonna go play hard on the court. We gonna give it all. I know he gonna give it his all. He know I'm gonna give it my all. So like at the end of the day, teammates don't have to be friends, but as a leader, you gotta understand that you're not gonna be friends with everybody on your team. You're
so
gonna
Absolutely.
be
Danny,
their
come.
leader.
The thing that's great, and I love that you mentioned, the talks about being a leader, and that's a vital role, especially for any team that you play with in any sport. Now, you played alongside, three powerhouse conference college athletes in,
Yeah.
Jelly JQ, Javon Quinterly, Luther
Mhm.
Muhammad, and the Pistons, Lewis King. He's in the
Right.
NBA right
Right.
now. Insane.
Right. Right.
What were some key lessons you learned from them, in which you became the leader in your senior season, and after graduating Hudson Catholic?
All right. So it's funny because I've actually learned something from each and every one of these guys, and I hate to admit it, but I've actually have learned something from each and every one of these guys. And I don't hate to admit it, these guys are my older brother, and they have stuck with me through a lot, through a lot. So we have gone through battles and battles and battles together. So these are my
Exactly.
guys, and these are family. These are my older brothers. So Javon, I've learned work ethic. When I mean Javon is the most workaholic person I have ever met. Every weekend practice, every weekend game, he is there an hour or two before to work out and then relax and then practice, and he goes hard in practice, and he credits what he does in practice. Even though coach hated when he did it, he would practice his jelly. Like Javon would practice, or he didn't just go to the games and just do that stuff. He actually practiced that stuff and practiced and practiced and practiced. And Javon's work ethic is incredible. Like Javon's work ethic is incredible, and that's why I know when he gets his chance with Alabama, he's going to do
He's
great
going off.
things. And exactly, and I wish nothing but the best for him.
Man, I hope we can get
Luther,
him on the show, man. That
oh yeah,
I
I mean
definitely want to get some talks
yeah,
into.
I mean I can reach out to him, see what he's doing. But I think he's back out in Alabama now. But I'll reach out to him, see what he's
Exactly,
doing
because
for him.
he's another player that's just gotten so much slander.
Like
Everyone's
yeah,
like, "Where's JQ been? What happened to
J
Villanova? What happened to Arizona?"
JQ been
You
eating,
know, let
JQ
the
been
kid
eating. He
relax.
know.
He's a kid just like us, and he's going
Yeah,
through it. He's had some
yeah.
tough coaches, tough
Mhm.
experiences, but you cannot take out what he's done in high school, man.
Yeah,
Was it 7 straight titles that Hudson
yeah. We
Catholic
had.
has won?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
Hudson Catholic itself had 7. We were a part of I think it was 4. No, I
Three
was
or
a part of
four, right?
3. Yeah, I was a part of 3. They were a part of
They had
4, I
4.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they
And
were a part of 4.
and
I was
you
a
you
part of
broke
3.
the you had a you're a historian over there, being that you started 4 years in varsity
Yeah,
freshman year. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
what was that like? I didn't get to
I did the
start
Um,
same
varsity
thing.
till like junior year. I mean, for
I was
honestly,
the
both of
same way,
you,
brother.
how was it
it
like
was
walking in as a freshman for a big
um
stage like that?
it was at first it was overwhelming at first, but
Yeah.
I understood because of freshman, I understood there was going to be a lot of challenges, a lot of mental laps that I was going to have. So that was something I was ready for. I wasn't
Okay.
blind, I wasn't oblivious to that stuff coming towards me. But, I just worked hard. I just worked hard my freshman year. My coach got on me. My coach has been on me ever since. And my coach is still on me, and I graduated. So,
That's
he
awesome. Those
is
are the best
he
coaches.
exactly. So my coach has been on me since day one. I remember the first workout feeling like it's practice, and Devon being the one to be like, "Oh, this ain't practice. This is just summer workouts." And I'm like, "Bro, we still in summer workouts, and we start school already." Like, it's that crazy. But I just went in wanting to work. I went in with about 4 or 5 of the freshmen, so it automatically just I felt like I had to stand out because it was more freshmen, and then on top of that, it was about 3 of them that was also around my height. Mark Bruce, he could shoot. He was a big that could shoot. Kyrie, he was big that had handle, got to the basket and could shoot. Jordan, more of a power forward like me, and then there's me, and then there was John Delgado. He stuck with me throughout my whole high school career, and we just I just felt like I had to show that, you know, I am the freshman that you want to play. You know, I am the freshman that you are going to play if you need a freshman. So, you know,
Mm.
I can imagine. I can imagine you coming your freshman year was like nothing's changing, correct? Because you already been through winning your spot. You came into freshman year of college. How was that like?
Oh well, freshman year, no. Freshman year of college, it definitely was kind of different. You know, for me, like you said, ever since I can remember, ever since sixth grade, I've always had a starting spot. I've uh, I've always earned my starting spot. I've always, you know, it was just something that was guaranteed. I was starting the game off, you know. So then when I got to college, you know, it was kind of a little different. Um, in the aspect of I learned that I don't want to be the player that I was, you know. I'm coming back a totally different player. You know, I'm just working like Sal said, I'm working, you know, I'm working every day, every 2-3 times a day. I'm working because I want to be better, and I don't want to. I see the way things went in high school and how I could have changed it myself, and how I could have had a better, you know, high school story or given a better high school story. And I wanna change that. I don't want what happened in high school to happen again. And I want to be better. You know, I want to be better. I want to do better and leave. If these are going to be the last 4 years of my basketball career, I want to
Make it
make
worth
sure they
it,
go out
bro.
exactly. Make sure
Absolutely.
I know, you know, I went out with a bang and I went out the best bang I could give. You know.
The hardest
Mm.
part for me was giving up baseball this year because all my life, that's all I worked for. All my
I
life,
know,
that's what
right
I
now.
wanted to do.
I when I heard about your story, bro, I was like, I was so heartfelt for you, bro, because I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like I was so heartfelt for you, bro. I was just so heartfelt for you, bro. Like I couldn't see you because you wasn't around. I wanted to like let you know, you feel me, like I'm here if you need me and everything. But bro, like that was so crazy. I just want to let you know like how I felt about at that moment because I never got the
Yeah.
chance to tell you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, like right there, my life changed. But I was like, you know what, I'll give baseball a couple more years. And unfortunately, the situation I was put in, it was very hard to.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I had to realize that I wasn't the same Ali I used to be. I wasn't 100% healthy anymore. I just
Right.
wasn't that guy anymore. So
Right. Right.
right then and there is when people tell you your life can change in the snap of a finger. So make
Mm-hmm.
sure every moment of your life coming from someone that wishes he could have like that one last game at college where he could go
Right.
off.
Right. Right.
Like enjoy every fucking moment, man. Because honestly, like you just never know when something could just happen. Whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta appreciate it. Because that's one thing I'm at peace with. Is I told myself and I prayed to God and I said, if you give me a chance to be back on the field again, I will enjoy every second of it. Because if you take it away from me again, I'll accept it. And that's
Right.
exactly what happened. I just enjoyed every second of it, and my life changed because of that. And I'm happy because of that. I'm happy I'm doing this podcast, taking school a little more serious,
Right.
helping impact the youth a little bit more. But I am happy in that piece. So just to give you a piece of advice, bro, enjoy every moment, enjoy every workout, enjoy every second you have, not just life, but of being there, being a Division I basketball player, proving yourself. And when you want to give up, man, just realize there's some people that would rather be in your shoes that are pretty close to you, like myself. I'd rather be in your shoes than my shoes right now. So without a doubt, brother, keep on working, keep on pushing forward because there's nothing more that makes me feel better than everyone eats. I always say, I eat, all my mans eat, all my peoples eat. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right.
Because
That's
it's just
right.
how it is, brother. It's
That's
amazing,
Absolutely.
right. That's
man.
right.
And
That's right.
that's a message for all athletes, you know.
For
Like
real.
you said, you know, cherish these moments, cherish these, you know, these bonds that you make throughout your time in college with your teammates, friends on campus. You know, you never know. Like Danny said, you know, 4 years it could be done, or you
Right.
could have an abrupt ends like the pandemic, and you know, and your senior season's done just like that,
Right.
and you
Right.
can't control it. But you know, that's the message that we try to make with this podcast. You know, with your story, Danny, we're inspiring, we're motivating, and it's something that everyone can cherish no matter what sport you're in. So
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
kind of cut you off before previously when we were talking about, you know, the people that kind of like really motivated you, especially to become
Right.
a
Right.
leader in your senior season. You
Right.
know, so now continue with Luther. So what did
Right.
Luther bring to
So
the table for you?
so
Another
Luther
tremendous player.
Luther taught me how to just use my hard work ethic into a more mean way. Luther is a very mean player. and just he works incredibly hard on and off the floor. He just Luther is a dog, and I don't know if you guys know Emmanuel Quickly. He goes to Kentucky. I think he's declaring for the draft this year, or maybe this year or next year. But we played Emmanuel Quickly at the Hoop Hall Classic, Round Ball Hoop Hall Classic, Basketball Hall of Fame Hoop Hall Classic. One of the biggest high school showcase games in the country. Mount Vernon goes there, Roselle, everyone goes there. So we played Emmanuel Quickly school, and Emmanuel Quickly averaged about 30, 40 in high school, and Luther shut Emmanuel Quickly. He made it his business. He told me before the game that Emmanuel Quickly wasn't going to get more than 2 points. He said he may score me once, but after he scores that one time, he's not going to score again. And Emmanuel Quickly scored 2 points that entire game. And from there, I just took, I still call Luther up till today and ask him about defensive advice. And,
Amazing.
just little tactics that he used to do. Because we used to be in practice, and we would battle for a rebound, and Luther would either elbow me in my stomach or he would put his shoulder square in my chest so that when we're going up for the rebound, he gets it and he almost finished. I never let him finish because then I'm grabbing him after he takes all the air out of me. But
Damn.
he gets it done, and he works incredibly hard for it. And there's nothing you can take away from Luther because he is going to work hard. At Ohio State, he proved that he worked hard. And at Arizona State, he's going to prove that he works hard, and that's why he's there. So.
Mm-hmm. And lastly,
It
Lewis King, he's the one out of that
was
group that's in the NBA. I mean, I'm sure all three of them are going to the NBA at one point.
right,
But Lewis is
of
obviously the
course,
first one to make it. What did he really
right.
teach you?
Lewis taught me how to have fun, but also be work driven. I apologize if you guys hear the little banging in the background, but Lewis taught me how to have fun while also being work driven. Lewis would make a joke before he stepped on the court and have everyone laughing before you step on the court. But as soon as Lewis stepped on the court, it was all business. He would literally stop laughing, stop joking around. Everything would get serious, and Lewis
Just
would, Lewis would just go and work for the 2 hours that we would be there. And Lewis also made me a better defender because I was guarding him every day in practice. So in the beginning, it definitely was difficult because Lewis is tall and he shoots and he can get to the basket. So it's like you really can't play him a certain type of way, but you have to play him honestly. So it definitely taught me a lot of things defensively. It definitely made me the defensive player I am today. And I call Lewis up today more of as advice on like how to do offensive moves. So I bro, like, when you shoot the ball or when your man is on you, like what do you do? What are you thinking about? Like he'll drop some knowledge to me and show me. We'll even be on FaceTime and he'll be like, if you got a computer sign, pull up like a highlight or something, I'll show you. And he'll show me like before the play, before he even gets the ball, like what's going through his head and everything. So I definitely use those guys as like a big help, and they definitely helped me out a lot, for basketball wise and everything.
That's awesome. Especially like these guys are
That's
still in
great.
contact. That's like brotherhood, man.
Oh yeah, of course.
We always talk about like when we're in the basketball huddle, everyone's family. This is truly your family. Like the fact they keep reaching back, they don't hesitate. It's deep. It's impactful.
Of course. And me and all these guys, we have all been through war together, through the ups, through the downs, through, all of it. So we honestly can say that we are, close and everything. And we honestly can say that we are a band of brothers. And not to forget my boy Shaq, who was also with us. He taught me like academically. Shaq is one of the smartest athletes I've ever known. He goes to Wiseman and he graduated Hudson Capital with a 4.0. Hudson is not a dumb school. So he graduated Hudson and goes to Wiseman, one of the top 3 academic schools in the country. And, you know, he's doing his thing out there. So, you know, shout out to definitely helped me out too.
Incredible.
Like with the academic aspect, you know, how to balance it.
Danny, before we let you go, just want to leave with, if you can leave one last message. You know, you just finished your freshman year in college for FDU. What's a message for young athletes, especially athletes that are highly successful in high school, coming into college? You know, explain that difference in the landscape. I think
what I would say is be prepared to be a freshman. You know, there's nothing wrong with being a freshman. The best time in a college, you know, Christian Laettner, one of the best Duke college players ever to play for a Duke uniform, you know, said one of his best years was his freshman year because the only thing you're required to do is carry the bags. So when you're a freshman, be a freshman and enjoy the moment. Like, yeah, you might have to carry bags. Yeah, you might not play, but work hard. Figure out why you're not playing, and then you might play. Figure out what you need to do to play, and then you might play. You know, and college definitely, I've learned, is a free zone. You know, you want to go to that in high school and growing up, it's kind of restricted because you can only really work out when you have practice or when you can get in the gym. You know, but in college you can get in the gym almost anytime you want. So it's really all about how much you want it, how much you really want to be better and want to, you know, work on your craft and just work hard. Like, everything comes with hard work. Everything comes with hard work. You know, you're not going to get nowhere in life. You can't even be a bum without working hard at doing that. So, you know, everything comes with hard work. Hard work, hard work, hard work, for real.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that,
well,
man.
Danny, that was good, man. You're a good public speaker, brother. You're a good public speaker.
You and Devin, man.
Thank you, man.
You and Devin.
That's the therapeutic in me. You know, that's why I really want to be a therapist, because I like helping people, and you know, I feel like I really connect. I feel like I really connect with people. You know, like I feel like for real, I feel like this was just a scheduled Zoom meeting between us. Like we just all came together.
Just a FaceTime. That's what it feels
like.
like.
A FaceTime.
That's the whole point of the podcast, man. Like, you don't want to. Imagine you listening to yourself in your junior year, listening to someone like you. Your mindset would change a little slight bit.
Right.
It would prepare you a little more. Right. It would teach you a little something, a little tweak. Like I said, a little seasoning to your salad. You know, it's like adds that, you know what I'm saying, some croutons. You know what I mean? Like, let me get some Parmesan cheese instead of, you know, shredded American cheese. But anyway.
You got it, man.
You know? That's the whole point of the podcast.
I think somebody needs to get him a salad because he's going in on this salad right now.
You know what I'm saying, brother. But thank you for being on the show. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Final Two podcast. Like and subscribe.
Like that right there.